Hi, and welcome to the Thinking Out Loud podcast, a show with meaningful conversations in English with non natives. My name is Jędrek,
My name is Masha.
and we are two English teachers who.
We are two English teachers, but why did you say in English? There was something there. Yes, we are English teachers. We're two English teachers. The
So
most,
you felt some hesitation in
yeah,
my voice?
yeah.
No, I was like, because I wanted
Like
to I
it's
wanted to
degrading to
emphasize.
say English.
No, no,
Conversations
no,
in English.
no. I
No, no.
what
Okay.
what you missed, I think,
Explain
or
yourself.
all right, but my intention was to emphasize meaningful conversations, and the fact that
Okay.
they happen in English is just, it's kind of a secondary feature of it.
Hmm.
But I wanted to emphasize the meaningful conversations that are happening
To
here.
set the bar high,
Hopefully,
always.
yeah, always. Yes, so that's why. So I sort of added in English, and then I added another thing with non-natives, like as if it does make a difference, of course. We could even um, elaborate on that. Why
We could, but
non-native?
we still don't have the answer. We don't even have an
But we
answer.
don't have the answer, but I have a feeling,
Why it
that
works, yeah, but feeling. Why it works
it's
well with
actually
non-native.
quite mm, how to put that?
And we've
It's
only
actually,
discovered that after having uh,
yeah,
some natives
conversations. Yeah, some natives, of
on the
course.
show.
That these non-natives, and the fact that they struggle with language at a technical level adds some kind of depth to their answers. I think the fact that you cannot express directly, immediately what you feel leaves some space for, I don't know, for some second thoughts, maybe some
And you have to be
reflection.
more resourceful.
You have to be more resourceful, and also you don't take reality for granted like you do in your L1, in your first language, you know?
No,
Because
what do you mean? You don't take
I mean,
reality for granted.
suddenly, um things that are ordinary are no longer so ordinary in the foreign language, because either there's no direct translation, or
Okay, understood.
there are some differences, and you something that you would express in a certain way in your native language doesn't sound the same in a foreign language. And I think foreign languages are great for that kind of
I
explorations.
thought you meant that, if somebody asked me in my language, what is the difference between crazy and stupid, I
Hmm.
would just dismiss
Hmm.
it as a stupid question. What is there to talk
Yeah,
about?
that is part of
But
taking.
when it's a
Yeah,
foreign language, you're like, what if I had to
your
explain
attitude
it
is
to
different.
a Martian, you know?
Yeah,
So,
yeah. Your attitude is different,
but I can't put my
and
finger on
it's
like
great.
why is it different?
Um, like I said, there is a lot of things that we take for granted in our first languages. Things that, you dismiss as, okay, that's like, it's a stupid question, but it's no longer stupid when you have to explain that in a foreign language.
I noticed
So,
also another thing in this writing. One of the thing, if a, a good book, it's a very honest writing.
hmm hmm
And I find it that I'm kind of bolder when I'm writing in English than in my own language. And
you
it's,
see.
it how what made me think about it is when I
Hmm.
started giving names to my characters. And
Hmm.
names in my own language sounded so, I felt so uncomfortable. I can't explain it. And
hmm
my characters
hmm
have English names.
hmm This is, I was thinking
So
about,
I'm hiding behind this foreign language. And when I'm hiding behind something, I become what? Bolder?
yeah. I mean, no, it's just
Hmm.
like you step outside of yourself, sort of. You're no longer yourself, I want to say. but it's a pleasant feeling.
This is going to be a very difficult episode.
Yeah. But no, it's good to talk about it, and try and put your finger on it, because um yeah, I have the same feeling that if you write a text, no matter if it's a blog post or an article or whatever, if you write in a foreign language, you're a different person. I think there's a different perspective. I have no
I
idea
think
what is.
I had a text about this in one of our newsletters.
Hmm.
I need to reread it.
Yeah, but it's the same as happening in conversations when they happen in a foreign language. Um, it's really, really interesting what happens to your personality, but also your thinking and so on. And I think that, one thing that is super important, in my opinion, is that the foreign language activates the will to communicate. Because, in the first language, you just, press or push your agenda, so to say, what you want to say, what you feel, what you are certain of, and you don't really pay so much attention to what others are saying or to your own words, because you
But
have
it just makes you a
certain.
bad communicator in your language.
Yeah, yeah, it's true. It's true. And I think we could agree that the fact that you speak a given language very well doesn't mean that you're a good communicator.
Yeah,
I mean,
but
people need.
there are people who are good communicators. They debate
Sure.
very well. It means
Yeah,
that they don't become somebody else when they speak a foreign language.
you're right. But I don't know. I just think that the foreign language, paradoxically, leaving some holes in your, let's say, communication, it's adding some kind of or generating some will to understand the other person and to bridge, all these holes. And the overall effect is that the conversation is actually better. I don't know, deeper,
Let's all
or
have conversations in
mo
foreign languages.
we are more sensitive in a way. Um, so yeah, even if there is that the frequently a moment like, what I mean. It's just like,
I
you can
know, but you have
express.
to explain it.
Yeah, but that thing is it's you are really reaching out to another person, like above the language, because you are just trying to communicate something with your whole person, not just with words. It's great. That's why
Right.
perhaps.
That's so confusing. You're not talking about body language, of course. What is
Yeah,
this
it's body
whole
language
person?
plus, I don't
It's
know.
another thing after good
Yeah,
life
yeah. These
because
are some wavelengths. I don't know, some kind of, ultrasounds. I
mm.
don't know how does it work.
And
But there's.
C uh force. What are other
Yeah, the
names
force.
for
Yeah,
it?
exactly. Yeah, yeah. It's some kind of a
C or
force,
key in
Yeah.
Chinese. Key.
All right.
Okay.
Yeah, so that's why these non-natives that feature, in our slogan at the beginning,
Hmm.
it's really interesting what happens to. And of course, I'm not saying that, because since our language here is English, so it sort of excludes people who are native English speakers, right? But I don't want to say that these people are, I don't know, intellectually impaired or I just want to say that.
Far from
I
it.
just want to say, yeah, far from it. I just want to say that it would be nice to have English speakers speaking French, Spanish, or any language they know, you know,
And we
and
know.
to have a conversation. Yeah, and we know, yeah, potentially. So, and having a conversation with them in their second language,
Hmm.
I think
Yeah.
could be really interesting. All right, fine. So much, but you dodged very skillfully, that two English teachers who by attacking me. All right. So
Because I'm never prepared. So the best defense is attack.
yes, of course. So we are here together with our listeners, faithful listeners who are flocking back to our show after the summer break.
Are they?
It's very nice. Yes, they are. There's
Okay,
that, core
cool.
35 or I don't know what is the core, and they are
30.
with us, so it's great. Okay, Masha, are we going to surprise our listeners with some clever questions today?
That's our intention.
That's our intention. All right. So, should we go to what is famously known as round one, or?
We should.
All right. And who's asking, if I may ask you before that? Would you like to
Do you have a
ask
clever
me?
question?
I might have a cleverish question. It's not clever, but it's cleverish.
Mine is risky, you know. It
So
may
let's go
turn
with
out to be like you're tired and
an exhausted.
exhausted.
But you mean you have something philosophical?
I don't even know if it's going to fly, you know. But okay.
Okay. So,
So
would
if
you
you're more
rather?
confident, you can ask yours.
Good. Let's go. So let me play the sounds.
Round one, fight!
This is Mortal Kombat, by the way. So, Masha, I'd like to ask you if you see any difference between mood and atmosphere. There's silence.
People have moods.
People
I
have
have
moods.
moods.
You have
But I
moods.
don't
All
have
right.
atmosphere.
All right.
But
So,
you know, in Ukrainian, there is this expression like, she's a woman holiday. It's literal
what?
translation.
Okay.
When you want to describe this particular kind of woman, you say she's a woman hyphen holiday.
Meaning what exactly?
Жінка
Because
свято. It means that when you're around this woman, you always, I mean, she's probably so optimistic, so
I see. I see.
you
I
know,
see
this
what you mean.
vibrant personality,
Mm-hmm.
and
Mm-hmm.
of course it radiates and permeates everybody,
Mm-hmm.
affects everybody
Mm-hmm.
around
Mm-hmm.
her. So I wonder if this is atmosphere or vibe. I don't know what that is.
Mm-hmm.
Just feature of your personality.
But the source of it is in that person's mood, which is very optimistic, which is very positive.
Yeah, because if we talk about events, for example,
Mm-hmm.
we don't use the word mood. You know, I went to this party yesterday, and the mood
No.
of the party was, we say, the atmosphere, the vibe.
But if you think about a funeral, then there's a certain mood, right? Or is it atmosphere? I mean, this somber.
Yeah, but nobody will even mention it because it's by default certain atmosphere always at the funeral.
Mm-hmm.
You
Mm-hmm.
you may say that if it was something extraordinary, like everybody was laughing because you know, the deceased one was a very funny guy and wanted everybody to laugh at
All
his
right. All right.
funeral. And you would say that the mood, yeah, but you would say it's still the mood of the people, not the mood of the event.
Place or event. You're right. You're right. So
About the
mood
cities,
belongs to
you
people.
also use atmosphere.
Well, what about music? Does it
No, we say mood.
say mood? I mean,
Because
there may
because
be a
when you're
sad music
writing,
or happy music.
because again, it's connected, I think, directly connected to people, because when you create a certain piece of music, you want people to put people in a certain mood when they listen to it,
Mm-hmm. Mm-hmm.
to create this mood in them. So you would say that the mood of this, I don't know, symphony or piece of music is this and that.
Or an artist may be in a certain
Mhm.
mood and wants that to immortalize that mood in music, right? Somehow.
Immortalize, well, it takes more than
Yeah,
just
I mean,
mood to
let's
immortalize.
let's say that you suffer, right? Because I know your
But
love wasn't
there is
reciprocated.
also, mood and emotion, because, for example, my last homework was I had to write a short story which would have this one or maybe two main emotions
Mm-hmm.
as its, well, emotion.
Mm-hmm.
So maybe with music, it's also about emotions. You want to evoke certain emotions in people, not the mood.
What is the relation between emotions and mood? Is it like emotions? I mean,
Emotions create your
taken,
mood, form your mood.
but there must be more than just one emotion to create a mood, or what?
Yeah, well, like I would wake up and say, today I'm in a bad mood. I wouldn't say I'm in a
Uh-huh.
sad mood.
Yeah, a mood could be either be bad or good, right? I'm in a good mood.
Well, there are different shades. It could be shitty. It could be
No, but
fucking
it's still,
terrible.
but speaking about the scale, it's just good
Yeah,
and
good or
bad.
bad.
Whatever you name, these shades of bad or shades of good.
Yeah, it
But
can't
it's
be
or is it just high and low? I don't know.
angry mood. No, I'm in an angry mood. No, you would
Anger is
just
an emotion. Anger is an
yes, you would
emotion.
just call an emotion. You would just say, I'm angry, I'm sad, I'm frustrated. You wouldn't say, I'm in an angry mood, I'm in a frustrated mood. No, you would just
What
say
what
good or bad mood.
what about a mob, an angry mob? Um, does it produce certain mood
Geez, I now
in
want
the
to
air?
Google this word.
No, just don't do it, don't do
Okay.
it. It's better to explore, collocations and yeah,
Yeah.
try to refrain from Googling. I mean, I'm okay, or do it and read the definition. You want to read the definition of mood, of what is mood?
No, no, let's suffer a little bit more
All right. But then we go
before we do
to
that.
Wikipedia, right?
Okay,
All right, good.
then. Um, do animals have moods?
I guess, except if I think about dogs, for example, they are so just like small children, always positive, always like, yeah, I'm ready, to go out for a walk or spend time with you. It's always you can hardly ever see animals in bad mood unless I know they are physically hurt or I know ill or
So it
perhaps
means they
like
don't have mood. They're not moody.
they're not moody, but doesn't mean that they don't have mood.
But
I'd
it's
say that
just one mood. That's kind of
so that means that if you have only one mood, it doesn't mean that you have mood.
no, that's just who you
Probably
are.
not.
That's just what kind of
Ah,
creature
okay.
you are.
Ah, you're right. Well, in that case,
Mood is a modality. It's like a modal verb,
meaning what?
meaning it alters other verbs. But
Oh, I see. Yeah, yeah.
if it's just who you are,
Hmm.
then it's not a mood.
Yeah, because we are not talking about your nature, right? You may have
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
certain
That
nature,
dogs are, like
positive, or
that.
yeah, dogs are like that. They're always happy when they see you.
What about
They're always
cats?
enthusiastic. Cats are actually moody, right? I mean, at least I have very little experience with cats, to be honest. I'm a dog person, but you're right. Cats are said to have moods. Sometimes they are grumpy. Like the famous grumpy cat.
But maybe
But
this
I
is
wonder
their
if it's
default
just
state to be being entitled, and grumpy. That's what cats are.
maybe so that
Have you
just
ever
like
seen a
dogs are
cheerful,
enthusiastic.
yeah, wagging its tail when they're happy to? No, they think that
Hardly
you
ever, yeah.
exist to serve them,
Yeah,
so
it's
they
rather like that.
don't
Unless
have moods.
we personify cats, because they are kind of impenetrable, in terms of, what they think. Maybe they, maybe they just express their emotions.
Inscrutable.
Yes, inscrutable. Nice.
Mm.
Yes. So I don't know
My
actually if
cat is
we.
pretty scrutable. I don't know if it's even
All
a
right.
word.
Is it grumpy?
It's always hungry. Yeah.
Oh, it's hungry.
The
All right.
interaction is this, I want to eat. No, but sometimes he misses me when we're away. Right now, our cat is a semi-wild creature, We left him at the summer house and
Mhm.
we come visit him at the
All
weekend
right.
because
All
he
right.
will be miserable in the city. He will eventually have to be here, but when it's very
Mhm.
cold right now, there's plenty of food, and he can
Yeah,
provide for himself.
yeah. Mice and
But
nuts
as
and
soon as
whatnot.
we arrive, half an hour and he's there, like, "Meow, are you fucking crazy? Where's the food?" And then he starts missing us. And when I lie down and he would come and be here on my, chest and purring and stuff.
Mhm.
So I don't know if he has moods. No, I would say
I don't know if
just
animals
like
have
that.
moods.
Yeah, animals
Perhaps.
probably don't.
I'm pretty sure. But
Only
I'm
women
pretty
have
sure
moods,
for sure that is certain. But I'm pretty sure that if someone has a lot of experience with animals, unfortunately, I don't. Right? I don't have pets
You're
for
right.
now.
I remember some films about
So it's a
dolphins
matter
or
of
something like
observation.
this.
Yeah,
Yes,
for sure. For sure. I
they
mean,
can see.
you can communicate with animals. I guess you can also recognize when they are feeling this or that. So I'm sure. However, like I said, a lot in the
A
animal kingdom,
dog
I
who is
think.
left in a shelter and missing her
Yeah,
owner.
yeah,
That's a
yeah, yeah, yeah.
mood.
For sure. That's a mood. That's a mood. And
But I still, there is this thing that I'm struggling with mood and emotion because I think it's a much
mhm.
better question, mood and emotion, than mood and atmosphere. Sorry to criticize your question.
No, it's not criticizing. You just open another gate, but it's great. Atmosphere, by the way, I don't know if we have time to get back to this concept. It's also interesting. How do you actually design an atmosphere of, I don't know, a city square, and so on. But let's leave it for now. You said emotions. So in my mind, emotions are like building blocks of a more general mood. And if there's if good emotions, let's call them like that, prevail, dominate inside of you, then you're in a good mood, I guess.
And mood is something that's visible to other people, but so are emotions. Emotions are visible to other people.
You can hide emotions if you're skillful, but yeah, generally,
I mean,
generally
they will manifest in your behavior.
yeah,
And
yeah,
the
sooner or
same as
later.
mood. If you're in a good
Unless
mood, people
unless you
see it.
hide behind culture, right?
But you can
And
also hide your
manners.
mood. I mean, there's no
You can hide
difference.
it. Yeah, yeah, you can hide it. If you're an English gentleman, nobody knows what you're really feeling. Or if you're a butler, right?
Yeah.
And no one knows what that butler is really feeling inside because there are like, I know,
It's a
10,
sleeping volcano.
yeah.
Remember this movie, The Remnants of the Day with Anthony Hopkins?
Oh yeah. Oh yes.
That's
Oh
what
yes.
you're talking about.
What an ass. This guy.
Total ass. Yeah.
Total ass. But once again, he was hiding or maybe I don't know if he was hiding, but he was spending time behind the curtain of culture and rules and whatnot. So what a total ass. But what a great story as well.
Yes.
It was Ishiguro's book
I haven't read the
that I
book. I've
read
only
first.
seen the
I,
film.
I read the book first, then I watched the movie, but it was great. But once
Both?
again, reading it, both are great. I guess the movie was also an Oscar movie, wasn't it? I think it was great. Hopkins was
Every
fantastic in that.
Hopkins movie, I think, is an Oscar.
Yeah, Yeah.
It's like Meryl
But
Streep, you know,
yeah, exactly.
in
But
trousers.
yeah. But the thing is that, reading the story and later watching it, you can't help just feeling, come on, it's just, it's a matter of one word, you fool.
Yeah.
One gesture, All right. What a waste. All right. Anyway, Masha, but I don't know if you agree with me that emotions build mood, that emotions are basically, some kind of, like I said, building blocks.
Yeah, I agree with this, but I'm now thinking, can it work the other way around?
Because I guess
You
you
sort
could
of
dissect your mood, and it consists of this, that, and that emotion.
yes, but
These emotions are inside of me, anger, hunger. Hunger is an emotion.
There is something, and for different people, it is a different things. There are some things people do to improve, to lift their mood. So, eh, I mean, if I'm in a bad mood, I'll go and have whatever it is, just underline the correct answer. Cup of coffee, martini, or
I may
whatever.
surprise you, but
The
I don't
mood,
believe in artificial changing of the mood. Like, let me play some music. If I'm pissed off, and I start listening to some happy-go-lucky music, I mean, the first reaction is to turn it off. There's no way a happy music
okay, maybe it's
can
not a
get you
happy
out of.
music. Maybe not a happy music, but I know it for a fact, and many people confirm it that uh, for example,
Eating chocolate.
you're having eating chocolate.
Well, you feel bad, you eat chocolate, and you feel
It
better.
only
That's
works against dementors, but of course you
all
don't
right.
know who they are. Okay, it's from Harry Potter. When you imagine I'm having a very bad day, terrible day,
Mhm.
and I keep thinking about it. My friend calls it mental chewing gum, when it's
Mm,
turning it over in your head and it's not leading anywhere. It only leaves you,
I like the name of that.
yeah. And then I will fall down this rabbit hole, and by the evening I will be, I don't know, I will be in a very bad place. But if I have
Hmm.
classes,
Hmm.
and I know immediately after a class, after a good class,
Hmm.
my mood is much better.
After a good
Again,
conversation.
but again, it's not. What do you say artificial? Is it artificial? Artificial when you're trying to improve your mood without experiencing some emotion that can,
Well, pouring a martini or a glass of wine or whatever. I think it's artificial in the sense that you may alter your mood by drinking alcohol, for
yeah,
example.
well, you may. I mean, it doesn't solve the
Hmm.
problem. You will go back sooner or
Hmm.
later to the bad mood you had before, but
Hmm.
for some time, it will definitely, for a lot of people, it will improve your mood. You will relax. You will forget about whatever was troubling you, and try and have some good time. Is it
Yeah.
artificial? Yeah. I mean,
Yeah,
artificial
yeah.
in terms of you are trying to experience some emotion. So again, we're talking about emotions building mood. So by drinking
Hmm.
alcohol, you can experience some emotions. By having a great conversation, you also experience good emotions. Your mood, improves. So I don't know if it's artificial because it comes down to feeling certain emotions.
I mean, at the end of the day, they say, I know, I think it's true that our emotions and later our mood is of course produced by certain hormones, and we have certain, let's say, mix of them in certain quantities. A little bit of that, a little bit of this, and of course you could regulate that artificially. You know,
Yeah,
you could
take a
you could.
potion,
Of
and
course, of course,
hello,
and
Mr.
yeah,
Sapolsky. Yeah.
yeah, you could produce more serotonin or other hormones that would impact your mood. But I think that at the end of the day, it is your body itself that has to do it. I don't know if you could. I know there's just these temporary shifts or changes
Yeah, of course,
in.
this is all chemical, but what does it matter if your body produces serotonin when you take a piece of chocolate, which is, I don't know if it's proven or not, but let's assume for the sake of
Whatever,
this
let's assume,
conversation,
yeah.
that is true. Or watching the sunset. My body will also produce this chemical and the mood will improve. So I don't know why one is
I'm not
artificial,
so
one is
sure.
not.
Very good question. I wish we had an expert here, two blind, totally ignorant people discussing such important things. But about watching the sunset. I'm pretty sure that if you're in a bad mood, the sunset will have zero impact on you. I mean, I know it also from my experience that you can contemplate the beauty of nature and other phenomena only if you're in a certain mood proper for that thing. Because if you're not, let's say that you feel down, you're sick, okay? But there's nothing less important than that sunset or
But
whatever,
that's not the
You don't
mood.
care.
That's not the mood when you feel sick.
And what is it?
It's just your body not being able to function.
But it's
You're
just like
just
with
not
animals,
feeling.
when
You're just
so
not
when they are
feeling well.
when they are
You're
hurt.
probably talking about, when the sunset cannot help you whatsoever, is when you are, your mood is a result of some kind of an issue in your life, unresolved issue.
Yeah, yeah.
So of course you will not feel better until the issue is resolved. But it doesn't mean that you have to be, sad and miserable all the time. Believe me, I know what I'm talking about.
Yeah, I mean, it's all very interesting because mm, yeah. I know this is super complex, about this mood and emotions and stuff. I mean, how is mood produced, and do we have any impact on that? Because there are events happening to us, around us, and
Mood, as you said, it's produced
globally.
by certain emotions, but you can feel certain emotions by doing different things. Yes, you have, I mean, we're all gonna die, we know that, but it's very sad. But somehow we're able to live this life experience good
We suppress
emotions.
that, we don't think about death and dying each minute of our lives unless we are in danger, but direct. But you don't think about dying of cancer or whatever all the time unless you actually have cancer and your doctor tells you you've got 6 months left.
Yeah, I was just trying to say that, I mean, we all have problems in our lives, but it doesn't mean that we can't experience good emotions. You meet with your friends, I don't know, you go to places, you experience good emotions. Yes, this something is always somewhere at the back of your head, but still you're able to be in good mood at least occasionally.
Yeah, otherwise you would go crazy, right? Or yeah. But I wonder, if we have any control over our mood, or does it just happen? Because there's so many.
Look at this. I've been thinking about this when as a parent, you sometimes say it to your kids or you hear it from your kids, and sometimes you just start thinking about when you say, because of you, or you made me feel this and that. But actually, imagine two different people. Yes, I know, me and you, and imagine some external factor, something happening, I don't know, Okay,
Yeah,
we're
be more
sitting.
illustrative, Masha, because
Okay,
it's
we're
like
sitting.
something, someone, you know.
We are sitting and I don't know, having a great conversation, physically in the same place, and then somebody, I don't know, your child or somebody drops something on the floor and breaks, I don't know, something which is very valuable.
A Ming vase.
No, not. But yeah, but it will be valuable to you, but not to me. Well, something that is not valuable to any of us. But because of the kind of personality, we will have different reactions. I will just say, come on, just throw it away. Make sure you don't hurt yourself. You will start scolding the person. So it means that it's not that this person made you feel this or that. It's your choice.
Yes.
And once you understand, you have great power over it. When you develop this habit, when something happens and you just stop for a second and say, okay, now I have two choices. I may go, berserk, kill the guy, or I may just, take a different perspective and see things from a different perspective and react, in a different way. And this is my choice. It's not that somebody made me feel like this. Once you understand that the power is with you,
that you decide about how you feel.
Yes.
Yeah, you're right. But it's so hard to overcome your
yeah, I'm
nature
preaching it, but I'm not practicing it.
Let's say, yeah. I know exactly what you're talking about because I'm I think quite, let me put it like this. I react quickly.
We all react quickly.
Before I think, before I even,
it's a
before I
discipline.
even
You
think
need
about
to
the
practice.
consequences.
You need to practice it.
But I
And
also
once you
know
understand that there are two choices, and if you make this choice, you will have a terrible mood the rest of the day. And if you make
You're right.
this choice, your mood will be much better.
You're right. But yeah, the best thing, the best approach ever is, of course, to approach everything with not even, well, stop and think, or to approach everything with a certain sense of humor.
Yeah,
but it's sometimes
this helps.
hard.
Sometimes your sense of humor is somewhere.
It's beautiful. I observe that a lot on social media. A lot of people get really serious, like, we are fighting for, I know what, everything gets political, and in politics is serious, and everybody's serious, tight ass, and so on. And it's enough to just, to look at it from, I know, some sort of point of view of I know what, but basically from a distance, and then suddenly everything is less serious. Everything is lighter, You may even laugh at some people, but not to be so serious and wishing them death or God only knows what. All right, but all that means that we are ultimately in control of our moods.
We have the potential for that. This is what I say, but very few people are. But there is
of executing that.
They are in control.
Control. Yeah.
But you can totally, I believe that you can totally do, and the proof of it is that two different individuals will react in two different ways to the same trigger.
Yeah. But how about,
if he can, I can.
But what about this theory that if you suppress your real feelings, your anger, whatever, for too long,
it's not about suppressing. It's about you will not be feeling it at all if you change the perspective. That's what I'm talking about. Not suppressing. No.
So you say that Anakin could basically be a good guy if he only managed to control his anger. If he never exploded.
It's not about controlling. It's about changing you take a distance,
yeah, you're right,
you look at the situation differently.
Maybe
and you will not feel
channeling
the anger.
that.
You cannot control your anger. I mean, you can, but you will get cancer in the end.
All right.
That's my philosophy, sorry.
All right, great. But once again, it's a task that is extremely difficult, I think. All right. Well, here we are.
Your example is very extreme, but I'm sure I can't think of anything off the top of my head, but I'm sure there are examples of people who were able to maybe not forgive, but at least not avenge the, killing, the murder of their closed ones. And if other people can do it, it means you can too.
Yeah. Yeah, but it takes some kind of divine patience. I don't know what else,
Yeah, but
you know.
of course it's a very extreme example. I'm talking about, everyday things. When somebody, didn't close the lid on the toilet. Psh, come on. Or when you find socks, dirty socks all over you. Oh, come on.
Yeah, but then it keeps happening, you know, it's you know.
So
All right, great.
what?
But yeah, my original question was, of course, about atmosphere, mood, but now the concept of mood is very, very interesting, you know. The way it appears and then persists,
Disappears.
disappears, yeah, and the role of emotions there. It's really interesting, you know, because look at that. You could also be surrounded by really negative phenomena, you know, bad things happening, you know, losing jobs and health and so on. And you could somehow, I think, although I know it takes a saint again, remain positive. And it's usually the case of the people who believe deeply in God or yeah, in some higher beings, right?
Somebody taking care of them.
Yes. Yes, I spent some time with a friend of mine who was a deeply religious person, and you know the amount of suffering that you know that happened to her, you know, was tremendous. But she was always like, you know, God will provide, and I don't have to worry. So she was, I would say, optimistic in all that, you know, difficult situation.
That's
There was
not the
also
control and the power I was talking about. That's different. You
you
are
kind of
not in con
outsource it to God.
yes, yeah, yeah.
All right. Yeah. So it's like a shield, right?
It's
It's just
another
like
escape.
culture in the case of that butler from the Remnants of the Day.
Yeah.
So yeah, it's some kind of a shield or I know wall that is separating you from your emotions, right? Or from what is really going on.
Not separating, but why separating?
Because you know you don't despair, you don't explode, you don't
You still feel
you
this.
know.
I'm sure he felt them.
You mean the butler?
Yeah. You think he didn't feel anything?
Yeah, you're right. He felt, but it was stupid.
Okay, you really hate the guy,
What
yeah?
an ass. I hate
We really
I
recommend
hate
this film, yeah?
Ishiguro. Yeah, I hate Ishiguro for that. You know, how can you write a stuff like that, you know, and not to get a happy ending? There was one chance at the end, you know,
Yeah,
one
on the
last
bus.
chance. He even failed that. What an ass.
Because that's life. It's not a fairy
Uh,
tale.
I thought I'm going to throw that book into, you know, the fireplace. If only I had a fireplace.
Wow. Okay.
All right, but it was great. Yeah, we recommend, of course, The Remnants of the Day by Kazuo Ishiguro.
And
Both. I mean, this
and
is
the
the
film.
book, and the film was also great. I don't know who was directing that, but Anthony Hopkins is starring.
And
Who played?
Emma Thompson.
And yeah, Emma Thompson. Yeah, both roles fantastic. You know,
Mm-hmm.
because there was so much you had to play with without any words, with just your face. You know,
Yeah, the
like you know
things
when the
which you're
butler's dad.
saying and happening, it's not
Yeah,
what's actually
yeah.
happening. Yeah.
When the butler's
So
dad
British.
died, you know, and it was
Yeah.
during that, you know, a very important meeting and so on, and he just, you know, he somehow, oh my God, you know, he was a killer, you know. I mean, in
Total
in
ass.
that total ass, but also Wow, really strong,
Great performance, yeah.
Yeah. All right. Great. Masha, where are we with our conversation? You didn't touch atmosphere, the concept of atmosphere, even though it's also interesting, and especially if you consider um, mm, the fact that can atmosphere be designed in a certain events or well, it
Yeah,
can be,
there are
because if we think
professionals
about our
who take care of
first
it.
dates and so on, we really take care that everything's right. And is it actually the atmosphere or the mood of a
Not the
date?
mood. No, it's atmosphere.
It's an atmosphere.
By
All right.
designing this atmosphere, you hope to put the person in a certain mood
Candles and all that,
and get what you want from them.
and get what you want. Right. Masha, thanks a lot for this conversation. It was great. It leaves me, of course, with wanting more
How's your
answers.
mood?
And
Now take a second and compare your mood at the beginning of this conversation and at the end of it.
I started, I started kind of uncertain, and now I'm really happy. Uncertain
But
because,
come
I
on,
didn't know
didn't
what
we
to ask.
establish that there are only two kinds of moods, good and bad?
I didn't go from bad to good for sure
Did you go
because I
from
wasn't in a
good
bad
to
mood.
great?
Perhaps
Come
from
on,
good to
very
better
good.
than good. Yeah. Yeah.
Better than good. Come on,
I
you
think
need
I
to
would go to
promote
great if there was
conversations.
um I don't know, a bowl of ice cream, in front of
That's what can improve your mood. Bowl of ice cream?
me. Yeah, temporarily,
Yeah, but
and
then
then
it's a
and then you
roller
feel
coaster.
sad.
After this,
Yeah,
you will
yeah,
feel
yeah, yeah,
even
exactly. Oh
worse.
my goodness. Yeah, I ate, the whole bucket, of ice cream. And
And then
now,
you had to go
I
play
have,
basketball. Yeah.
oh yeah. Great. Thanks a lot to everyone who was listening to this conversation. We hope you have your own reflections about what is mood, how is it created. Wait, we didn't go to Wikipedia, Masha. Does it even make any sense now? Go and
I'm
check what
going.
is mood. What is the definition of that? And now
The
it
way
will
you
turn out
feel at a particular time. This is Longman's dictionary.
the way you feel at a particular time. But isn't that an emotion? No, I mean, no, the way you feel. Well, yes, there's the simplest definition possible. Why did we spend so much time actually
Emotion, a
discussing this?
strong human feeling, such as love, hate, or anger.
Ah, yeah, emotion could be detached
Have
from
you
time, right?
already seen Inside Out Part 2?
Inside Out. What is that?
Cartoon.
What? Sorry, I don't know what is that. Inside Out. Need
Inside
to
Out.
check it
It's
out.
the first part was, I don't know, 8, 10 years ago. It's a little kid, and inside her head, you can see these 5 basic emotions, and there is a control panel, and in come on,
No,
okay.
no, it's
You have
I'm
a week.
totally
You need to watch it with your children. Absolutely. You
all
need to
right.
watch part 1 and part 2. Like, you don't have to watch anything else, but you must watch this cartoon.
Is it publicly available or is it behind the paywall somewhere, like Netflix or I don't know
I don't
what?
know where you get your movies. I'm sorry, I can't help you with that.
Oh, all
If you
right.
were in Ukraine, I would direct you in the right.
Torrent.
Cut this.
Great. Masha, all right. So I need to do my homework, watch the Inside Out, part 1 and 2, I believe.
Yes, you have to
All
watch
right.
part 1 and then only
What
part
sort of
2.
cartoon is that the part 2 comes out after years, after several years? What is that?
It means it's a fucking great cartoon.
Ah, okay. Good. Well, that makes sense.
Okay.
Good. I'm trying to say bye to our listeners, and you keep interrupting. So yeah, I'd like to say big thank you for listening and for being with us. And of course, don't forget that this podcast is open to guests. You may join us here and try and solve a different puzzle, speaking a foreign language.
And don't forget that this
Preferably
podcast
English.
is trying to survive on 1 cup of coffee somebody bought us.
Yeah,
We
exactly.
are running very low on coffee.
Yeah. You're running on fumes.
Fumes
Guys,
of coffee. If you want
support
to support us,
in any way possible, either by sharing or by paying directly, donating at buymeacoffee.com. The links are in the description.
Ooh.
Masha, it's
That's
over
it.
to you.
This was another episode of the Thinking Out Loud podcast. Thank you everyone for listening. Stay tuned for the next one. Bye.
Bye-bye.